fallen. Before you ever face a single enemy on the battlefield, you have got to understand something that most commanders learn way, way too late. That's right. Your first and most persistent enemy isn't the one across the map. It's the default programming running inside your own units, telling them how to behave. It's the ghost in your own machine. If you just leave it alone, your units will get stuck in traffic jams, line up perfectly to get wiped out by splash damage, and just stand there, taking hits for no reason. These aren't just little quirks you have to work around. No, these are conditions you have to train to override. And today, we train. Okay, our first lesson is on a technique called cloning. And no, this has nothing to do with building more units. It's all about not wasting the ones you already have. So here's the classic, painful scenario. You've got a group of 12 Scourge, these are your expensive, gas-heavy suicide units, and you tell them to attack. The standard AI sends every single one to the same target. The first one hits, mission accomplished. The other 11, they just fly into the explosion. Completely wasted. That is just tactical malpractice. So, this is your solution. Cloning is your direct counterorder to the AI's dumb, wasteful instincts. It's the method you use to quickly break up one big, clumsy group into several smaller, surgically precise teams. And honestly, the way you do it is surprisingly simple. You give your whole group an order, right? Then you just hold down the Shift key and start clicking on the little unit portraits to peel them away from the main selection. Now give the units you still have selected a new target. You just repeat that. In a couple of seconds, one big group becomes several lethal ones. And here's what that looks like. Instead of 12 Scourge all chasing one guy, you now have, say, 4 groups of 2, each one assigned to a different high-value enemy. Absolutely zero waste. Maximum possible impact. This is what taking command actually looks like. And this technique is it's universal. You use it on your very first workers to get your economy going faster. You use it to split up your Mutalisks to hit 2 enemy locations at the exact same time. You can even use it to assign your medics to specific Marine squads so they don't all clump up trying to heal the same guy. You need to remember this. Every single unit you let the AI waste is a unit your opponent didn't have to spend their own resources to kill. You're basically doing their job for them, so stop. All right, let's move on to our second big maneuver. If cloning is all about conserving your resources before the fight starts, dancing is about preserving them during it. Think about it. A unit that isn't shooting but is taking damage is a total net loss. It's an asset that is actively losing value with absolutely zero return. We're going to correct that right now. See, every unit has what's called a firing cooldown. It's that tiny, mandatory pause between its attacks. To the default AI, this is just dead time. But to an elite commander, this is a golden window of opportunity. Just look at the difference here. The standard AI will shoot its shot and then just stand there like a lemon, soaking up enemy fire during its cooldown. But with dancing, your unit fires, and then it immediately moves back during that cooldown, creating distance and forcing the enemy to work harder. The rhythm is everything, but it demands your focus. Attack, move back. Attack, move back. You're turning that so-called dead time into tactical repositioning. You're squeezing every last drop of life and damage out of your unit. Now, this works for a lot of units, but it is absolutely 100% essential for Dragoons. Their long cooldown and just infamously clumsy AI makes them a huge liability if you leave them alone. But with dancing, they become this incredible kiting force that can just chip away at armies while taking almost no damage in return. You know, dancing also applies to the whole army. It's always better to have 4 units at half health than 2 at full health and 2 that are dead. As a unit on the front line starts taking hits, you manually pull it to the back and let a healthier one step up. You're preserving the total firepower of your army for much, much longer. So, cloning and dancing are incredibly powerful, but they work best when you combine them with a few other fundamental control tricks. Oh, we've all been here. You tell your army to move through a narrow ramp or a tight corridor, and the default AI just creates a total traffic jam. The guys in the back stop moving, and the ones at the very front get completely vaporized. The fix for this is, it's almost laughably simple. You spam the move command. Yep, that's it. Every single time you reissue that order, you force the game to recalculate the path for every single unit, which breaks them out of that gridlock. A problem that would take the AI 30 seconds to figure out, you can fix in 3. Okay, let's put the mechanics on hold for just a second and talk about the philosophy here, because this isn't just about clicking faster. It's about adopting a completely different way of thinking. Every shot your opponent fires is a resource they're spending. Every second they spend targeting one of your units is a resource they're spending. Your job is to make them pay through the nose for every single point of damage they deal. Dancing makes your units more expensive to hit. Cloning prevents them from getting those cheap, easy kills on clumped-up units. You are literally taxing your enemy's ability to wage war. So that's really the question it all boils down to, isn't it? The standard AI is a tool, not a commander. It just follows the most basic orders. Elite control is about overriding those basic orders with your superior intent. The choice is yours. Dismissed.